Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Rogan and Runescape. Got a pretty interesting episode today. My buddy Seth, my coworker, is joining me, and also Parker is joining me to discuss cryptocurrency. This is something that's pretty interesting, and you can't really avoid hearing about it in 2021, 2020. So I'd like to get them together kind of and just kind of chat, dude. What's up, Seth?
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me, dude. It's
Welcome to the podcast.
Been a long day. Thanks for having me, guys.
Hell yeah, bro. Yeah, for sure. What is it, St. Patty's Day today?
I'm pretty sure. At this point now.
Hell yeah, bro. Well, all right. Well, I guess without further ado, we'll just kind of jump in. Could you explain, like, what is basically a Bitcoin, or what is cryptocurrency, and where did it come from?
Dude, the best.
You want to go?
Yeah, the best route that I could go, I think that at this point in time, man, I think that the best way it could be explained with Bitcoin is that it's a decentralized money. It's a decentralized currency, and the most important thing about Bitcoin is that there's only a set value to it in the aspects of, you know, how far it can go because of the fact that there's only 21 million Bitcoin. And because of the fact there's only 21 million, it can't be inflated in any type of way, which is, you know, very amazing. And that's like the only thing anybody should care about with Bitcoin is the, you know, inflation rate, basically.
So that's what kind of makes it valuable and what kind of sets it apart from certain other cryptos. And so, like, the other, I guess, altcoins, I guess that's the term for other cryptos that are basically not the OG Bitcoin. But I guess what set Bitcoin aside from some of the other ones is that there's only a certain amount, right? Like you said,
yeah,
21 million.
21 million, and it will never go. You can't create any way to like slip up in the system and throw another Bitcoin in there. You know, recently I sent a full Bitcoin to a Bitcoin Cash wallet by accident, and you know, I lost a decent amount of money at that point in time. For me, in all reality, it was $11,000 loss, but at that point in time, it was a $47,000 loss. So, you know, we learn through, because I've always had somebody do this for me. I've always had somebody who was paid to do this stuff, and I've taken it on in the past, I would say 6 or 7 months now on my own, and you know, you make mistakes like that. So now that Bitcoin's gone. So no matter how we look at this, that Bitcoin is 100% gone forever. So now there's actually, 19,999 Bitcoin, you know, got it down the line, you know. So, and that's not just me. That's just for anybody else who has done the same thing way back in the day, or the 177 that I know that I jointly owned from WoW. From mining World of Warcraft, you know, those are gone forever. That happened way back in like 2011, and I believe back then, dude, at that point in time, they were worth like trash. It was worth nothing. We had built up all this. Like, there was so much money before, but then it fell down.
Maybe like $60 at most.
Yeah, dude. I want to say
you had 170.
Yeah, 177 actually that are lost forever because this computer got smashed to pieces like OG status.
Oh my god, dude. So like I just Googled what is one Bitcoin worth in 2011, and it said like February to April $1, and then
it was
December 60 in 2013, I think.
I was about to say, I want to say it was a little bit more than $60.
Oh my god!
It was, you know, just what was left over from buying tons of pot at the
time. So that's actually pretty interesting. That's kind of an interesting segue as to when Bitcoin first came out. How did you hear about it? For me, it was actually in 2009, which, if I understand correctly, that's kind of like when it popped up and like kind of gained popularity. But I'd seen it on from like 4chan, random or whatever. There would be like a discussion of Silkroad, and you'd see like screenshots of like Silkroad or something like that. And that was back in 2009. And that was like kind of the first entrance of where I first had heard about it. And of course, if I would have invested in it then as a 9th grader, then I probably would. I'd be like pretty much retired by now. But where'd you first
dude, yeah,
hear
that'd
about
be
it?
insane. I was actually, I want to say, I was on a boat in Kuwait at the time, and I first heard about it through like some kind of nerdy kid that was in the Navy, and we were hitching a ride on their boat, and I started listening to him talk about it. But then the aspect of like the dark web, like first it was talking about hiring hitmen and shit, and it was an interesting conversation. And then they started talking about buying drugs, and I was like, what? So that's where I first ever heard about it. But it became more serious when we touched back land. And, it was like, holy shit, you could use this stuff, Bitcoin, to just buy it. And nobody can know that, the package comes to you every single time. And nobody knows that you're doing it. And that's just how it went. And it went that way, I believe, even after the kid got busted. I forget what his name is. I just watched a movie, like a Hollywood movie about him, actually.
Imagine the people that took Bitcoin used Bitcoin on the dark web as their currency. Like they kept it in their wallet, I guess, for years and just never touched it.
Well, see, the wallet can exist from back then. Now,
Right.
the wallet would be way easier to obtain because of how much crypto has grown. But back then, so it would be on a computer. If you still have
Right. It
Bitcoin
was
from
still on the
back then,
computer, locally.
it would have to be on that computer. I don't know of other exchanges that were really
You know how I used to
open
have.
that haven't changed their
But I'm
IPs
saying,
now.
what if that user, let's say you sold goods, right, and you took Bitcoin. Well, let's say you don't touch your Bitcoin at all. You just used all that Bitcoin and you just keep it on your USB, right? Like you just never touch it. Period.
Yeah, you would be
I wonder if
if you
anybody
had
has
that
done
would be
that.
the best case scenario would be a cold storage wallet, which did exist. It's a USB,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Dude,
And
I had one set up to where you could log into a Linux system from the USB, and if you needed to, you could smash it, and
oh,
all the
that's
data was
awesome.
yeah, dude. It was set up so nice, and I had a VPN on it, so I was good in that sense. Sometimes I would even run two virtual desktops of Linux, dude, but it all ran from the USB.
Yeah, when I recovered the Bitcoin that I originally had from my account, that lasted from these years, it was done originally from a computer and then put onto an exchange, and then ever since then, when MetaMask type deals were created, before it was even MetaMask, those wallets where they interlinked and stuff, I started just moving it through that. And the only thing that survived through all that to me now was 3 full Bitcoin, and now it's two. But
Yep.
it's
Dang, bro. And
yeah, it's been a long journey.
Let's remind people that one Bitcoin right now is worth what, 58,000?
No, $59,283.59.
It's been fluctuating a lot though lately.
Yeah, it's almost it's testing the all-time high again.
So could you imagine being one of those people? And I've actually thought about this a couple times, where it's like, think about the people that did get turned into millionaires from Bitcoin.
Right.
At least a huge percentage of these people must have been either World of Warcraft players or drug buyers.
What do you
think about
Silicon
it, bro?
Valley? What do you think Silicon Valley is stupid rich right now? Because
dude,
a lot of them are invested in Bitcoin and they mine it too.
I think I think we need to understand that the wealth disperse happens in the most craziest ways. We're not losing, even when it dips, we're really not losing anything because the disperse of wealth is really changed. And like you said, these guys that were dealing with, I remember paying people in Bitcoin for things because I wanted stuff in World of Warcraft when I was high in it and I started PvP, and I'm like, yo, I need to get this up to get this gem or something. And they're like, yeah, you got to get your shit up to 100. I'm like, dude, I don't got time for that, dude. I PvP, so I would pay people in Bitcoin. And that's actually funny story since it's a game, podcast. The great thing about that, dude, is World of Warcraft is how I went to go recover passwords and how I found 3 Bitcoin. You know what I mean? So at that point in time, it was, so
it makes me want to look for my old computer where I kept my Bitcoin.
Yeah, the 3 Bitcoin at that point in time, I had turned into several by just having somebody trade it. And then, but I was losing money to them like in a ridiculous way. Like I was paying them a lot of money to make me a lot of money. You know what I mean? So in the end, I ended up with 11 Bitcoin and I bought a home when I first started working for Electric. And then, as you know, my wife and my son passed away and stuff. That was liquidated to going back to 3 Bitcoin again. The 3 original. I always wanted to keep the 3 original Bitcoin that I found on the computer. So with that being said, man, it's weird how all that stuff can work. Like it's wealth 2 years ago topped out at $11,000, and I was like, woohoo, let's sell 10, and I think it amounted to like $211,000 at the time when I sold on BitToro, I think it was the exchange. I don't even think they're an exchange anymore.
Or is it?
I think it was BitToro, and then maybe been absorbed and now is eToro possibly. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. I think it did.
I didn't do everything then.
Stocks.
Yeah. I didn't do everything though. Again, I was paying somebody at it. So I've recently only gotten back into doing this now. So those 2 full Bitcoin is my retirement now, and those are going to stay in a cold storage LEPAL wallet, which are really awesome. If you guys get into crypto and you start holding large amounts, I highly recommend holding in a cold storage wallet, something like the LEPAL. And the Nano Ledger works too, but its history is almost as great as its future. You know what I mean? It's the best part about Bitcoin.
Man, you have a great personality, man, and I respect you. Respect the hell out of you. And I'm really happy. Yeah, man, I'm really happy that the good things are coming to you. And not only that, I'm really happy that you are generous enough to share the wealth of knowledge with people, and for one, take something and turn it into something beautiful. It's kind of like alchemy in a way. And also like with just like you take $1 and you turn it into like $10,000 or $1,000. That's
well, that's what I've done.
Awesome.
When I first walked in and I told you guys that I started these exchanges on my own, and I saw these $1,000 to $10K, and I was like, that's got to be hella easy if you know what you're doing. But can you take like fucking $5 in an exchange and turn it into 500? But you know what I mean? And I had fun doing that, and that I'm all the way now working on the real 1K to 10K challenge right now. But I'm doing pretty good following somebody else's trades.
Hey, so
I'm not a chart person,
dude,
so.
Of course.
I had 2 questions real quick. One, you were talking about earlier, you had a person that you would pay to like invest. Now, was that person investing in crypto? And is that also like a person that you'd meet at in a physical office, or is that an online service? And 2, the second question, the follow-up question would be, like, I guess for both of y'all too, but starting out with you, Seth, would be, is it possible for people to, like you were saying, not just have $10,000 that they can then invest, because a lot of people don't have that money to invest. Is it possible now, 2021, right, to have maybe $5 that you put into like these, penny stocks and all that stuff and see a significant come up?
We'll go back to the CP, the financial advisor person. I'll say really quick, in the crypto space, dude, let's look at the crypto space in general. No matter how long Bitcoin has been out anyways, the institutions just walked in. So let's just say that we're still sucking on the teat of the biblical dollar of what cryptocurrency space is. Like, dude, Bitcoin's barely at, I mean, I'm sure it's at $1 trillion market cap right now, but it flirts with $1 trillion, sometimes on bad weekends. And dude, gold is 10 trillion. Dude, wait, just the crypto space is a baby. But go ahead, man, because I know that you definitely know what I'm talking about with that.
Yeah,
Parker?
Can you address the question again?
Well, kind of like how would you take, or what would you say towards people that would be looking at crypto and be like, kind of like myself, where it's like I don't have the 10K to invest that I know could make me a substantial amount of money.
A lot of people, the beautiful thing about crypto, though. Like you don't need a lot of money to make like a lot of money. Like you can make $100 investment with a company that, like for instance, like the company that I invested in recently, OMI. I heard about them pretty early. It's called Ecomi, and they have an app called Vive, and it's we'll get on later to NFTs, but basically if you can get on early with something and you really believe that it has a chance like to take off, or like you see the leadership of like the
projects mainly, like,
the
because these are
projects,
all
just read into the
legitimate.
projects.
These aren't scams,
Legit
this isn't
business.
for another drug buying thing. This isn't, this is institutionalized money. When a company like Grayscale, who is a hedge fund, starts annually bringing a percentage yielded to you, this is serious business. This is
There's actually
multimillionaires
companies
wanting to put their
creating.
money into this.
There's like big companies creating their own cryptos now. Like I saw one the other day that it was like a pretty big company, and they they're moving more into the crypto scene. So like it's more reliable than it was back in like say 2009. I see how everybody was scared from like 2009 to like 2016ish. Like everybody was like skeptical about it. Like Bitcoin had blew up like one time already, and they were still skeptical. Or was it 2017 when it blew up big? But
17.
yeah. So after 17 is really when everybody was like, okay,
That's when you
like
had to have diamond hands, because everybody would
yeah,
want to really sell really bad. But to go back to your question in the aspects of like, what do you recommend with something like that? I would recommend dollar cost averaging. Dollar cost averaging is super important, man. It's
yeah,
just like
exactly.
I work so a lot of questions that I get, because like I don't do fancy cars. I'm not a fancy car person. I am bougie though. I like nice things. And so I do keep nice things, around me. And one thing is like, why is it, if I have that capability to turn money into something like that, why would I continue to work? Well, it's because, we have children and I don't have money. Like, dude, having 2 Bitcoin right now is seriously nothing, man. I want to be a millionaire is what
Not
I
for a
want,
life, not for a lifetime. It's best
not
Not
for
for a
my
lifetime
children,
with
not for
children.
my
Yeah.
children. And yeah, so
let
my
that money
thing
make
is
money.
now,
Let it sit and let it
yeah,
make more money
and
and
dollar
work.
cost averaging and understanding. So I bought into this the third largest market cap coin, which is Cardano ADA. Shout out Charles Hoskins, because he's the man. But that coin right now, I've been buying. I only had access to it by approval via making people understand that, hey, I got cryptocurrency in a large amount. I could drop it in your exchange, And so I got Voyager, and I got to Cardano
Voyager's going
Nice.
up a lot too.
right around $1, and that's really high for a 300% pump, when it was 10 cents just, few, like 6 months prior, So, but I believe in the project. So I dollar cost averaged this project, and right now I'm up $1,400-ish, And what I
Yep.
did was I bought at $1.30. I bought when it was $1.06. I stuck through the highs, I stuck through the lows, and I believed in the coin itself, and I dollar cost average it. And the best one, and the only thing, your ultimate goal is to make this money and then put it in Bitcoin, because when the fiat dollar does fall, Bitcoin's your new gold. I mean, that's just, it is what it is.
Yeah,
And
and
we
I
can
actually
see
think
kind of
we
an
saw.
inflation.
Yeah, I was gonna
Go
say
ahead, Parker.
with the market, you can actually see that like Bitcoin, well, crypto, held its value pretty well when coronavirus happened. Uh, the crypto was like people's like go to like during that point. Like if you look, stocks were crashing, and they took a little dip. Well, a pretty big dip for some, but crypto was still holding its own. Most of these projects,
I think overall scaredness it's a new type. I lived when 9/11 happened, and the market definitely took a dip.
yeah, definitely.
I lived when what was after I think Katrina, I think, had some
Katrina,
effect on the market, because it had areas in there where it affected the market. So
oil,
I mean,
oil
yeah,
spill,
just all
stuff
different
like that.
types of events, but I think the new one was like where you seen it in China and it's like, oh shit. And then we've had the scares here. It was finally on a level where, holy shit, you might have to lock your doors. So crypto, I mean, Bitcoin falling to $3,000. That is a big hit. But I think when it did, and the recovery after that of understanding, I think people started to understand inflation because then you miss toilet paper. You know what I mean? And when you're hurting for money and you can't find toilet paper, it really sucks. And, it makes you start to realize. So I think that's why it is that, institutions jumped in the end.
Yo, so you just read my mind because you're saying institutions, and I was just thinking about like these corporations. Like, there's a JP Morgan coin, and apparently Facebook's coin is like Libra or something like that.
I told you. There's other.
Oh, I
big
have no
companies
clue
too.
about any big companies that own any tokens because you know what I mean? There's just so much that I have time for when I research the crypto space. What I care more about is making people understand the fall of the fiat dollar and why it is we, can't print dollars, and when these companies are behind the printing of the dollar and the fall of it, I will no way in shape or form, support your crypto.
In a way,
Right.
it wouldn't Doge be like the American dollar since it is infinite supply, but it still has to be created.
I feel that one Doge equals one Doge.
Well, yeah, but I'm
with
saying
that,
they don't correlate in that in price wise. But I'm saying like the way the currency is like set up.
Dogecoin would be more like your third world countries right now that you're seeing with where the government came and said, "Hey, we fucked up. We owe a lot of money. You guys are going to pay it out of your taxes," and we're like, "What?" You know what I mean? That's what a Dogecoin. That's
We'll pay you with
inflated in currency. Now, if the large holders like Elon Musk said sold off, and then they started doing a burn on the token
burn. Yeah,
in
they
some
did
kind of
burns.
way,
Yeah.
but it's not. That's why Dogecoin is just a meme, and memes. People like
Yep.
to see other people fail, and a lot of people failed with Dogecoin. I mean, a
Dude,
lot of people. So
can I tell you about
Pretty
the
mature understanding to understand that certain people want to see that.
it's really tough to understand that people love to see other people fail and they get enjoyment. I mean, look at YouTube, dude. Seriously.
Yeah.
Just look at the comment sections. Look at,
Look at the videos themselves fails.
Yeah.
What were
so
you saying, Parker?
so I was gonna say I was gonna tell you about the OMI coin, how they actually have it set up for theirs. They do a burn, right? And there's like a certain amount that's like burned every second or something. That's they calculated it to, and every week they do a burn. Well, basically there's a cap on their circulating supply, or there's a cap on the supply, but I think it's really high. I think it's like 167 billion or something. So it's really really high, but the token burning really helps. So it's bound to go up from where it started. But like you said, if it becomes a money dump to where like people dump their money in, then you buy, you may lose like money at that point. But if you get in early, like how I did, like you're almost bound to make money no matter what, even if it does go up and it drops.
Yeah. I mean, I think all these projects are going to be pretty solid right now because, like I said, it's like the baby was real quiet because it's been brewing in the stomach, and now
Yep.
the baby's out of the belly and it's hungry, and now people got money to spend, and
Yep.
I think we're going to see a whole new space because, again, this is about understanding. When I finally understood why is it my money sat $10,000 in a bank, and I made 36 cents in
Do
1
you want
year.
to know an actual like a pretty funny
Like
correlation?
what's going on when that happens?
A pretty funny correlation. There is 8% of like Americans there is a millionaire. So 8% of Americans are millionaires. 8% of Americans invest in Bitcoin or in cryptocurrency. That's pretty funny.
That's interesting.
But obviously, not everybody that invests in crypto is a millionaire. But I guarantee you that crypto did make a lot of people, like it created a lot more millionaires.
I can tell you this much. My dad has never done any of this stuff. And whenever I built this custom rifle, I told my dad that I'm going to get the Doge coin imprinted in the rifle because I had put like maybe $50 into a fraction of a penny in Dogecoin, and it went up to 8 cents, and I sold it. I think it was like not even 8 cents; it was like 7 cents or something. And so I bought me a nice rifle, and I was trying to tell my dad about cryptocurrency for years, dude. And finally, I changed my dad's mind, and now he's like one of the largest whale wallet holders I know in cryptocurrency.
See, I wish my dad
100%.
would have listened to me. He
Yeah,
doesn't like technology at all.
he told me today. He got me and my brother group chat on Signal, and he told us today. He's like, you guys need to make sure that you have 0.01 of Bitcoin because in 30 years you're gonna be a millionaire. And I'm sitting here like my dad's like trying to school me on something I've been trying to literally teach him so he does not go get wrecked in the market. You know what I mean? And it was just great because my dad is a true believer, because I do believe some of these crazy whack jobs that get on and say that Bitcoin's going to be $5 million one day. I just don't believe it will be in 2021. I think that diamond hands is key, and that this kind of hold is one that the man that created Wall Street Bets, the man that took the reins and didn't do anything wrong other than say, I like the stock, dude. And, this is the same type of hold. Those kids are holding and losing money for him because it's the principle. And now in this situation, it's just the new currency.
Hey, so I was I was kind of like trying to Google what made Bitcoin popularized between 2020 and 2021, because if you look at the charts that I had posted in topic ideas, you can see how really like it went crazy within, I guess, maybe the past couple years. And I haven't looked at any articles yet, but I just started thinking in my head. So the economy was like
trusted with it too. Like they're starting to trust that Bitcoin is not like just some flake token or like flake,
Yeah, but hear me out. So like, do you think that, okay, because you know how like the economy was going well during the Trump administration? I'm pretty sure that's undeniable.
Before coronavirus.
Exactly, pre the pandemic, where the economic crash, affected us, and we had to, do whatever it was that we did. And then then you start to see like, the administration's changed. The World Health Organization is now looking into the theory that, the virus was a man-made mutation that escaped from a level 4 bioweapons lab in Wuhan, whereas like, previously a year ago, it would have been discredited as a far-right theory, and now it's like kind of thought of as one of the more popular theories. Rogan actually just had a guest on, which is major, to see the, people coming out, and you have to kind of keep in mind that like Chinese doctors and stuff, anyone that would want to come out against this and say like anything true,
they would die instantly.
Disappeared, bro. You get disappeared.
Seriously.
So, allegedly.
Allegedly. So you see the economy's going well, and then like the pandemic happens, whatever, the economy crashes, and then people can't work, and everything's effed up, and then we get stimulus checks. Do you guys think this is at least a part of the reason for the resurgence?
And at that point, Bitcoin was $3,000 too.
So the point you made where people thought it was flaky, I think people have always thought it was flaky, dude. I mean, I sat in one night.
They trust it. That's what I'm saying. Like it's more of a trusted. Like people want to hold it more now.
When there comes to like money troubles or something, I've sat and like I've stared into space and like sat right next to a electronic pad that could end all my troubles right now, with the immediate things. And it was starting to understand to me that I'm keeping this money because it does not inflate, dude. This key word, inflation, because when you go back and look at this chart that we were speaking about before the podcast, where it's just this molehill and it goes into a mountain, and it should gradually be this way when you look at from goddamn the birth of America to, now. And then you see at some point in time, it just shoots straight up. And it's recent. It's very recent. And I think people, they want to not hedge their bets against inflation anymore. And they understand that cryptocurrencies govern themselves by a program, and you can't fuck with it. It's
Also, more
and
more investors are able to throw in money now.
yeah,
Like
investors
they're
are
chunking in
seeing
funds.
the yield. Like right now, I'm probably going to be making roughly in just the 1K to 10K challenge account maybe $100 in yield. Just keeping the Bitcoin and ADA in the account.
I
Monthly.
think eventually when we're older, Bitcoin ATMs would companies would be good to or crypto and uh ATMs would probably be a good investment. And you might not make like a ton, but like I mean you might make a good bit, but like eventually, they'll have, ATMs pretty much
Yeah.
everywhere.
Um.
Real quick, so I'm just looking though. And
Yeah.
2000 and okay, so April 2020, the Bitcoin price was 8,773 according to this chart from statista.com. Now, I'm looking around like October, November, like election time, and keep in mind, guys, I am not Republican nor Democrat. I feel like I'm just like want the best for my American family members, neighbors, their
Yeah.
children.
Yeah.
I feel like there's some fuck
Is
shit
that
going on.
liberal? I don't know. Do they call that liberal? I'm not sure. I'm just fucking with you.
No, I'm just saying, like, I ain't necessarily got a dog in the fight. So,
Nah, I feel you on that, dude.
if you
Trust
look,
me.
dude, bro, April it was 8,000, and then all of a sudden around election time, like November, 2020, it's 18K. Then by January of this year, February, it's it's gone up 46K in February. Like that's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, dude. Can you just like in December? Can you imagine just picking up a couple for 3,000? Like I wouldn't
Yeah,
have dared
March
because I didn't
March
really have the money. You know.
I didn't either, dude. I was like at the time, dude. I don't know, you just know how life
It's funny because
goes,
I had
man.
it. I didn't truly believe in it. Not after it being
I could
so
have made a
low
killing
from the
off
last
BlackBerry
time I
or
ever
something.
spent it.
BlackBerry, remember when all the hype had hit or whatever? Because of what's it called?
Wall Street bets or
Like
whatever.
GameStop. Yeah,
Yeah.
Wall Street bets. I actually could have made a decent amount off BlackBerry because I bought it at like 322, and I know they did like car system like security and stuff, so I knew they weren't gonna like probably fall through. Like I don't know, they were an okay company, and they had they had a new leadership and everything. So I figured they might as well invest in it and see if they can come up pretty big. But no, it was falling through. It started to fall through, and I had sold, and yep, it went back up when they all
Dude,
invested in
I
it.
would actually love to see the correlation more now during the presidency's swap on Bitcoin. I don't know who I could go to. I have a couple of friends like that are YouTubers even that I could ask. I guess it just takes a while to get responses, but
The
there's a
correlation
chart.
between them.
Yeah, there's a chart for everything. It's funny about that, but
I
I
know
think
there's a
I can get
correlation
somebody to
website.
narrow that chart down.
There's definitely got to be, I think, a correlation with the stimulus checks for one. You
Yeah,
got a lot of
yeah.
people that have money, so they're with
More
that at
invested.
the same time that you're hearing like Bitcoin commercials
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that.
Well, that makes sense too. If you got to understand, I think somebody threw a number out to me the other day that said that if 1% of everybody in the United States just puts their stimulus check into cryptocurrency, the space will expand by, I think it was like fucking 44% or something. I was like, what?
Damn.
What? 1% of the United States putting their money, that just a whole check in crypto? Because you know me, you know what I did the morning when, I figured it out. I was like, fuck it. But hey, dude, it's when you hear a statistic like, hey, I put my $1,200 back here into Bitcoin and now it's $10,000, I think it starts to really open up the eyes to other investors, or even smaller ones. And Robinhood and shit like that changed the game because it put the power of trading into degenerates' hands.
That's hilarious, bro. We got a couple degenerates here ourselves.
Yeah.
But could you guys
Yeah.
actually go in a little bit to the Robinhood and GameStop stuff? Because I was so busy when GameStop was going on that like I just completely missed what was going on. So do you guys know what the fuck like that was?
I understand as much as like watching the Portnoy videos. Jeff Portnoy is like a big crypto guy, but I'm pretty sure this dude named Vlad who owns Robinhood.
Well, they were getting
He's
a new CEO first, though. Like GameStop was. Is that what you're talking about, or
no,
Robinhood
no. I'm talking
first?
about Robinhood's CEO Vlad. I was going to talk about how
Okay, yeah,
like
Vlad, yeah.
they're basically their relationship with these hedge funds. I forget what all the hedge funds names are, but there's one in
Yeah.
particular that's very important. And the GameStop debacle actually really turned into first when they stopped trading on the platform because it was skyrocketing. Like I think it hit $500 and they just stopped trading on it,
They
and
stopped
that's
it.
illegal.
Yeah.
It's like highly illegal, just so you guys know, to deny buying or selling of a public stock. So
They said they were doing it to protect
their
their
yeah their customers and shit. Like what the
customers. Yeah.
fuck?
So it hit like a certain number, like
Yeah.
basically. So what did Reddit like
So Reddit came in and they
The reason they
figured
did it,
out.
though.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have no clue why they did it in the end, but I know how they did it. They figured
Well,
out
to
that
drain the hedge
GameStop was
funds.
the number one shorted stock,
Like, you think
and
about it, the hedge funds, like they make so much damn like money that could be like distributed like throughout so many people. Like they're making more than what they even could dream of. Just making tons off the stock market, and they're able to manipulate it because they own like the most of the shares for like a lot of the stuff, dude. Like it's they can manipulate whatever they want. So
it,
obviously
to
they
to
didn't like that. So
the best way to explain it is like they bet that GameStop was going to fail, basically wash
right,
out actually this time around. There was a guy who became the new owner of GameStop. I actually am a long time, customer and loyal fan of GameStop. I'm still on their
yeah, me
loyalty
too.
programs and stuff. And, I knew about this guy because he turned this like Chewy's company into this
Yeah, Chewy's.
multi-billion-dollar fucking big online platform. So
the dog food company.
Yeah, Chewy's.
yeah.
Yeah,
He
which is
owns
it's just
that,
dog
and he
stuff.
owns GameStop now. So basically, one dude started to notice, like, hey,
Well,
you
he
know
doesn't
what?
own it. He was like one of the majority shareholders. He was the new
Nah, he's the
CEO, I
C.
guess.
He's the
Yeah, they
CEO.
appointed
So
it. Well, he wasn't at first, is what I'm saying. They invited him to the board meetings and then appointed him as the new CEO because he was like, like
well,
he
that
knew what
was
he was
like,
talking about.
yeah,
He had a
that was
game
like
plan.
under wraps, and it was a big announcement because I remember when that happened. But
Yeah,
he became the new, like, lead of GameStop, the new owner of
right.
GameStop and shit. And so one dude in particular on Reddit and Wall Street Bets, he really believed in the stock and was like really dumping all into it because he knew that they were shorting the stock. And basically the way that this
He was
works,
rich too
to
already.
best explain it, is when you short the stock, they're wanting it to fail, right? So they're betting and borrowing it and selling it to you really cheap, right?
Yeah,
And then you're going to sell it back as it gets its little $30 bump like it does every year and goes back down, right? So what really is going on is they wanted he explained to Reddit and all these degenerate kids that you need to hold the stock because when we drive
right.
the price of the stock up,
We
it
have to pay
goes
it
up
back.
together with our money, and then they have to buy the stock back at a really high price, and it costs them a lot of money because it's off borrowed time, and they have to do it in that time. So if the stock is $200 when they still had bought it way back when at $3, um you get the difference. Like, you're really hurting the hedge funds pockets, and that's really what it turned into. It was like the little guy learned how to stick it to the man, for
Yeah,
once.
use numbers and stick it to these big corporations. And
So
now
they
you
weren't
That's
look
trying
real.
to
at Wall
hurt
Street
GameStop.
bets.
They
No,
weren't trying to hurt
GameStop has
GameStop.
nothing. Dude,
No, they were
GameStop
helping
just
him.
happened to be, it's not even
They kept
about,
him
dude,
afloat.
I see
Because they
again,
were
that's
closing
where,
down
It
around
wasn't even
here.
about GameStop. Yeah, it wasn't even really
yeah,
about like
it
it
wasn't
doesn't
really
even
about
affect
GameStop
GameStop.
in the anymore. It was about really sticking it to the man in the end. That was like but
Yeah,
see, if wild
it's
things
a money bump.
emerged from this, like the random pumping and dumping of coins, and like celebrities coming into coins and stuff, because That's why Dogecoin made people lose thousands of dollars. They bought at the top, and then people dumped on them because it's just like I was going back to that culture of like people want to see you fail, dude. They get off on, so you got to be in this space. It's like a very new. Remember that baby is very, very suspicious and fucking weird, and it might shit on your carpet the next second,
dude. Awesome, dude. That's a pretty good generalization of what was going on. Because it even made like the news, man. It was, they were talking about like GameStop and Reddit, all that stuff.
Yeah, I just don't want people to go start buying GameStop stock though for no reason. You know what I mean? Because dude, you're buying at an all-time high, and who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's just hype stocks that's going to drop eventually, and who knows? It may be a stock that like the next meme or something that happens, dude. Or like even if GameStop starts going bankrupt or something and starts dipping down,
yeah,
like the same thing happens.
My first shares of GameStop were bought because I sent Matt an invite on Webull, and he accepted it, and he we got free stocks, and I think I got Ford stock, and it was worth $11, so I sold it. And then I saw that GameStop stock was $11, and I was like, boom. And I started buying some GameStop stock. And then all of a sudden, it was like, yo, this is $25. Yo, I'm selling. And then all of a sudden, it was like, damn, dude, that shit went to $90. I should have sold. And then I was like, damn, that shit went. And then I had to go find out. And that's when I officially became a part of like Satoshi Bets, like Wall Street shit. And
dude, Wall Street.
That's how I've gotten. Yeah, Wall Street Bets is insane. They tore it down for a little bit, but it came back up.
There's going to be some more shit from Wall Street Bets. I guarantee you, like the stock market is about to get crazy. People that have just a little amounts of money can make a lot of money. Like I'm
dude, Mickey, you want a conspiracy real quick from all that?
Oh, I'd love one, dude.
An awesome one that got proven right. So during all this pumping and dumping, as they call it, the hedge funds put out a bunch of stuff saying that that basically we need to buy. Yeah, news channels were doing it, dude. They got news channels to report on this, dude.
Yeah.
They were basically saying like the next thing that's getting pumped is silver, because if you pump the silver and then request the silver in physical form, they can't get it to you, and it was just this made up thing so people would stop messing with the GameStop stock. It was insane, bro.
Damn,
they got caught red-handed, dude.
It was all surrounding around silver.
Yeah, silver.
Yeah, silver.
People were telling me like, and I had kind of like heard like picked up my.
I bought a single stock of the silver stock, and it did pumped up, and it pumped up to $2.90. I bought it at $2.40 or something, and it was just really funny how how they used our tools against us. You know what I mean? And they went straight to the media with it, and people believed it.
Yeah.
So basically, the best way to explain what Wall Street Bets is, dude, is this one comment from a kid I read in just scrolling through the fucking hilariousness of Wall Street Bets, dude. He said, look at these corporations hanging shiny dangly things in front of our face. They must think we're stupid, but little do they know we're not stupid, we're retarded. That sums up all of Wall Street Bets in one little comment. You know what I mean?
Like I don't like 401ks. Like I hardly even will do index funds, but I like index funds a lot better. But 401ks like is the dumbest thing. Like if you think about it, you're giving your money. I don't even know what a 401k
really does or is. I know that my company will match my money, but you know what? I told my girlfriend, dude, fuck a 401k, because I have a 401k sitting in my safe right now that is worth 10 times your 401k can be.
401ks are bullshit, dude. You're basically giving money to a company to invest your money into like what they think is smart decisions. They're only going to let you grow a certain amount of money, dude. They're going to make money off your money, and basically they don't care if that your shit goes up or down. But mostly it'll go up like a couple percent every year, which is like nothing. Like you could be doing stocks your own self and getting like 60%, like doubling your whole entire like income almost, like for the whole year.
Yeah.
Like, and that's just like a normal person, like an everyday person could be that makes like $40,000 a year could be making $100,000 a year just from making smart investments.
The biggest news I think that came out as of today, which is Wednesday, March 17th, is this token Luna is
Luna, I see it right now actually.
yeah, so Luna is doing this new staking program where it's a stable staking pool. So the one thing with crypto with staking, if anybody doesn't understand truly what staking is, it's like basically saying, hey, instead of you keeping your money in your wallet, which is like, the one you got in your back pocket, why don't you keep that money in my wallet if you're going to save it, and I'm going to pay you to let me keep that money in my wallet. So that's the best way to explain it. But it's always been unstable. So since the birth, it's been like 5% one year, but maybe for a couple of weeks they'll give you 50%, that week. So this new one with this new thing, it's a stable coin, and if you don't know what a stable coin is, it's a coin that can't go above or below $1, and so it's got this new thing where if you have this stable coin, they're going to give you 20% APY, yearly percentage yield.
See, dude, that's the thing. That's a lot better than a 401k. Like,
yeah. So that's
index
you're
funds.
exactly right. And big rich people are going to be like, well, I made $1,200 this year off keeping my $17 million in this bank. But you're saying that I could make how much with $17 million? You know what I mean? So they give it to you per dollar that you have, the AP, so the more money you have, the more money you get back, obviously, And so it's going to take these big millionaires who don't care about crypto at all, and they'll probably convert their money into a crypto to let it earn a nice fat APY.
We're slowly transferring over to using Bitcoin. It's like slowly just pushing itself there because like it's becoming more diverse. Like you see different projects like NFTs like coming into the picture. NFTs are going to be what I think it's going to be huge, dude. Like I think it's going to be in every video game like coming out in the future.
Yeah, I do believe that NFTs in video games and music, but now and the aspects of art, I'm sorry, this right now, this bubble that's happening with NFTs with art,
that's
a
fad.
That's a fad.
Yeah,
but when you talk about video games, I agree with you wholeheartedly.
That is art. Listen, dance moves in Fortnite.
Oh yeah, no, I'm talking about art, physical art. So do you think it's cooler to have a Banksy's online digital art that anybody could just snap a shot of and be like, hey, I have it now too? And or do you think a Banksy's that was taken off a fucking bum alley wall in Europe is more money? Truthfully, you're really dumb. Anybody who gets answers that question if you're saying the NFT is worth more.
All right,
because
so what about this?
The physical art is always gonna be
what
worth
about
more.
Augmented reality?
Makes sense.
Like collectible, like VR and augmented reality.
So like Decentraland, buying like, Decentraland Mania, which is a coin that lets you buy plots of land on the Ethereum network. And one day, whenever we're all in VR, you got more money. You know what I mean? Yeah. I see how that stuff works, but not everybody is a gamer, so we're looking to appeal the NFT space to everybody, which is going to be music and video games.
So the app is called Vive, right? And all it is you have a vault and you can buy like these it's like collectible like items, right? Augmented reality items, and they're usable items too. Like I'll have to send you a video. Basically, there's one of like a DeLorean, and somebody does like the parking lot, and he's able to drive the DeLorean
or
around.
It's like a video or whatever.
What do you mean?
You're talking about like the art? It's like a playable digital type thing.
Well, yeah, it's like it's not even a video. It's like you're able to play with it. It's augmented. It's like literally a 3D model.
Well, that's something that's like different. That's like a video game almost.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah, but it's in a phone app.
Yeah, what I'm talking about right now is what's really going on in the NFT space. What I'm talking about with the bubble is people buying pieces of art like Beeple. If you don't even know who
Beeple, yeah.
Beeple is,
Yeah,
then
yeah, no, I
you
know, I
pretty
know.
much only know who he is right now because of him selling, $69 million worth of art that is trash.
Yeah,
That's why it
Beeple.
is that people know Beeple
That
right
that
now.
might happen every
And
once in a while,
Damn.
but I don't
yeah,
think artists.
it's sad, dude,
Ooh,
because
ooh,
like
wait,
people
wait,
like Banksy's are getting
dude.
ripped off, and they're saying that Banksy's is making NFTs, and people are buying these things for $2,000-3,000,
But
and then they're gonna go to zero. That's
one way,
exactly what's gonna
one,
happen.
all right. I got one way that it would actually be good for art if you did it just like what's it called? That website called that people do random shit on like art.
Well, what they need to do is if they're
Fuck,
going to
dude.
create art, they need to have a physical portion of the art that comes with an
Because with it,
NFT
yeah,
that gives you
not
a
even that.
physical ownership to it.
You
You know
don't
what I
have
mean?
to even with this though. Like what is that website where graphic designers like put up like I do graphic designs and they charge like for graphics Fiverr. If they do it just like Fiverr, like a website like that that sells like the certificate like art with it for
Yeah.
like businesses like graphics and stuff like that because like if somebody tries to use a business's graphic and they have the certificate, they could just sue them. That's all they
Yeah.
got to do. Like, so it works in like that sense for art, but I get what you're saying. Like the creative like space, like I get what you're saying. Like that space is not gonna be like sustainable for.
Now, there's interesting
It
ideas like when
could
it comes to collectible cards, like that Gronkowski card or
right
something like
collectible
those.
stuff. Yeah,
But when it comes to just like a piece of a drawing that does not spin in a circle and is not an audio play clip,
right.
or you know what I mean, it's just really weird
Like
to
imagine getting a
see
partnership
that
deal
kind
with
of
like
money getting
Pokemon.
pushed into it. But
Like,
that's also a personal view on it. You know what I mean? I
like
wouldn't
how many
say
people would
don't
go crazy?
how to spend your money, basically.
Like all right, Americans as is already love like TV shows. They fall in love with characters and all these like different things, right? What if like these companies like so the one I'm invested in, for instance, they got the NFL Network pretty recently. They got Cartoon Network, DC Comics. So like DC Comics has been big on there right now, but the more they add like these, they build their projects and add these things. Like if they got Pokemon, think about that, dude. How big that would be. Like it would blow up, right?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
All the Pokemon fans, yeah. So
Like
eventually,
Pokemon
like,
Go, but with NFTs.
yeah, just be augmented reality. Like you collect it, dude. It's collectibles to where there's only 1,000 of these, so that's like a common or whatever. Then there's only like 10 made of like, you know, certain ones, and they can go for like stupid high prices.
Yeah,
Like let's say,
that would be the only way. But see, the problem is you have to get Nintendo to be in on getting
right?
paid in Ethereum or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, no, yeah. Like they would have to get paid, obviously, but for their art, they get paid for the art. Yeah, and basically every time art's
Oh yeah, dude,
bought.
you're gonna definitely pay the artist that drew Charizard. That's for damn sure.
What do y'all
Oh
think
yeah, for
about
sure.
Ethereum?
Well, listen. Every
All
time
right, my
art
bad.
is bought, coins are burned. So every time they do a release, coins are burned weekly. Every time people trade art through, to each other or like whatever, do purchases or anything like that, it's burned. Also, you can buy gems from the app on their app, and you can transfer it to their cryptocurrency. So it's changing like the way like you can enter into cryptocurrencies, not just like using Coinbase and sending it over like that. Like there's also like so many other ways you can buy like these gems and then transfer them over to crypto or like whatever it is. There's so many different like payment methods, and that's when you really start seeing it be used like in like day to day life. Like when it starts gaining more like
Dude,
ways
I'm
to
sure
do purchases.
right now with Cardano about to introduce smart contracts, man,
Oh
that
yeah, that'd be
everything that
dope.
you're talking about is being created right this very
Yeah,
moment.
they all intertwine with
Because,
each other, dude. It's crazy,
well,
isn't it? They
they're
work
only going to be
together
able to
perfect.
truly intertwine after I think like the Gogan maintenance is done and shit. Because gas fees right now, like he said, what do you think of Ethereum? I think Ethereum has high gas fees. And I think Ethereum, for some reason, can't seem to break that $2,000 mark for whatever fucking reason it. I don't know what it is, but yeah, it's at 18.15 right now, which ain't too bad. The market seems like it's cooling off. No, never mind. Bitcoin went back to 59. I lied.
Yeah, I saw it
See, look,
earlier.
literally, just in this time, I would figure that it wouldn't even. Right now, what it's supposed to be doing is, I would like to see Bitcoin find the 51,000 or $50,000 support range, but we haven't gone to it. So this is looking and shaping up like maybe the end of the bull run for Bitcoin right now, and this year.
It may drop. If it
Um,
drops, I'm dumping.
and then altcoin. Well, I wouldn't dump Bitcoin ever. I don't day trade Bitcoin, and I don't try to
No, I
trade,
wouldn't
even
day trade
though
it. I
the
would
net
diamond hand.
change today is $2,689. So maybe two or three times today you could have made a couple of good trades if you were fast
Oh
and
yeah,
smart enough. You could
yeah,
have
yeah.
made about $6,000,
Dude,
$7,000 today, just just
Bitforex,
trading off Bitcoin.
Bitforex for making trades is instant, dude. As soon as you press that button, dude, for like buy or sell, it's like boom, instantly,
Yeah,
bro.
and
Like
and
I fuck with
people
that,
use
dude.
their different stuff like CoinDesk or whatever.
Right, but a
But
lot of them are slow and they do it like
yeah.
yeah, they fuck up and shit, dude.
Yeah,
No,
well, I
that's
mean, if you're being a professional trader, you got the best of the best, I'm sure. Because
right.
I don't trade like that. But
I trade
what
every day now.
So what is
what
what is Bitforex and what makes that different from something like Coinbase?
There, well, so Coinbase doesn't offer as many cryptos as Bitforex. A lot of new. So like what I like to do is I like to find new cryptos, and if I use these places like Bitforex that just like dumps like whatever crypto onto their site, like obviously they verify it's like a legitimate project, but uh, they put a lot of different cryptos on here. That's the thing. So a lot of cryptos start on these websites that are going to blow up. So you get to hear about a lot of these projects before a lot of people get to hear about it. And a lot of people don't want to make purchases through Bitforex because it's not as easy. It's not as like they don't trust it yet because it's like not on Binance or something. But if it ever gets those partnerships with Binance and all these like other, you know, like companies, that's when it takes off. So I'm pretty much getting in early on a lot of these uh cryptos. This is what I'm trying to do right now.
yeah, the different exchanges, I think um XRP is in a lawsuit in America right now.
Yeah,
So, but it's still being traded in South Korea and it still trades. So like you would have to have a VPN to get certain coins
coins it. That's the
on
same way with
certain
this one, dude.
apps and stuff.
That's what
Um
Bitforex is for.
and there's just so many different ones, dude. It's and whatever the like what I think it is politics with what coins they carry, because Coinbase is a heavy Ethereum network, and ADA is nicknamed the Ethereum killer. I believe that it is the Ethereum killer, and I think that Cardano will one day, replace basically Ethereum, and so it's getting listed this Friday, which has been a really long time, that they've delayed to list a very popular coin, and they did it on purpose. It's because it's the competitor to the people who give them all their money all the time, So we're finding more politics as institutions step into all this, and when you ask about these exchanges, what makes them better, really what makes them better, they all do the same thing. All transactions transact as fast as the blockchain will let it, or as fast as
Oh
the
no.
ERC20 will let it, or you know what I mean, depending on what it is that you're doing. Um, but when it comes down to it, it's really about what makes a better exchange is what coins they got, because it's really there's not for a perfect trade, you're looking for that instant, but by the time pretty much almost all these cells are instant. Now there's shittier, exchanges than others, and it does seem delayed. And when it comes to transferring to wallets, there is differences when it comes to time. But for the most part, all these exchanges on your phone or a computer are pretty much the same until you start getting into like pro versions of a trading system.
Interesting, bro.
So I've been waiting for kind of like this coin to dip before I throw in. Like I'm gonna throw in a couple more thousand into it, and I've been waiting for it to dip, dude. But this shit holds way better than a lot of fucking stocks, dude. I swear. Like it's holding so good, dude. I don't know whether it's because I
XRP
got in or like early or something.
XRP is a good topic to bring up. I don't know if you know about XRP, Mickey.
No, what
And
is that?
It was the third. I think I don't know. It's looking like it's still the third largest market cap coin. I think
Yeah.
Cardano took its place actually today, but it's a coin that it's really hard to explain like DeFi contracts and stuff like that right now because I don't really understand them too much. But it's another type of coin, and it's basically the best coin to have internationally when you want to send money to your grandma in Africa, you know? And
Nice.
they're getting sued by the SEC right
International.
now. And it's really,
SEC?
yeah, the SEC. They're getting sued for basically the SEC is saying that XRP is a security, which is like a stock and not a cryptocurrency, which is fucking hilarious because they've been around for 4 years. You know what I mean? And
Right.
been in the cryptocurrency game before, you know, a lot of these other coins that are, you know, just pumping and pumping right now. Bitcoin, you know, with the with the creator of Bitcoin being basically not a real human being that's ever been proven to exist ever, you know?
Satoshi Nakamoto.
Yeah, he's never been
Yeah.
proven to be a real human being. Like he's not, I don't think he's a real person because you can't produce this real person, you know what I mean?
Yeah. There's no proof. Some people think it's
So
just like a conglomerate of like programmers that came up with it.
Ethereum, Ethereum used the anonymity of Bitcoin. So you can't go after Ethereum because they went public, but using the anonymity of Bitcoin with their coin. And they did everything basically that they needed to start up super slow. XRP did it with a coin, but acted like it was a stock. Basically, it was like, hey, brother, you know, I'm going to throw you 20,000 XRP if you help me, you know, get the hype out for this or help me build this coin in the program that it does. So, you know, basically right now it's a very big time for the crypto space because the outcome of that whole thing is very important. You know what I mean? And it will determine if the SEC starts attacking other crypto companies, you know?
Interesting. So it's like an international coin.
Yeah, it's dude, I think my dad's family even
I
uses
mean,
it
that's
in
what
Korea.
crypto pretty much is, dude. International currency. Like you can
Right.
pretty much
Yeah,
trade between whatever currency, and
this crypto works really good with a low gas fee. So there's gas fees
that's
for all
good.
this, and it works really good for a low gas fee to send money across and do it instant.
Yeah, instant,
XRP
yeah.
is like 100 times faster than Bitcoin when it comes to transaction time.
That's awesome. Bitcoin usually takes me about 30 minutes.
Oh, dude, I've waited
But a lot of
48
sites,
hours
though,
for
it
Bitcoin to
depends.
get to an
Oh,
address.
really? See,
Yeah,
dude,
I've
like
waited
sometimes
a long time.
these websites will only get one verification before they put it in your account. So, like, they'll do it like it goes pretty quick.
Well, it just depends on what you're approved for. Like, if you get approved during the pending status, they just trust you. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I have full verification and everything. Like I've been into crypto for a while, so all my shit's like verified. And I use like tons of authenticator. I put the max amount of authenticators I can with like every account.
Yeah, yeah.
So like it's almost impossible to get into some of my accounts, I bet. Like they would have to physically like have my phone and my computer, my laptop, and then have to know my email and all that shit.
I can tell you today, I'm up $180 today just in the crypto
Dude,
space.
I was too, 100 exactly 180. No, not in the crypto stocks. From Tesla. Tesla
I
stock.
just I just sold my last stock actually for $1.90.
Stocks are interesting, bro. The stonks. I hadn't really
The
gotten into them.
stonks. I
Yeah,
love that word.
well, it's pretty interesting, bro, with like stonks because, like, you know, with RuneScape, I mean, I guess the same thing for World of Warcraft. Like, depending on what updates are performed, like what buffs and nerfs are performed, it changes the psychology of how people view an item, which changes the value, of course, you know, supply and demand, and also just like value. So it's pretty interesting that, like, you know, for one, like the game that we play, like old school RuneScape, has like a whole like side about it that is intertwined with the real world economy. Like, for example,
That's crazy.
So were you familiar with a couple of years ago? There's something happened with like Venezuela and the United States relationships.
Yeah, no.
Well,
Yep.
I remember something happening in Venezuela, but I didn't know it involved
crazy.
the United States.
Well, basically, they changed their leadership, and they try to put a bunch of social programs like in their country to help their country out, which is good and everything. But their only main source of income was oil. So like oil was really high at the time. Well, eventually oil fucking dropped, and then they couldn't afford to keep up with the social programs, so they started going, fucking in the hole, bro. So their prices started, like, everything started inflating like crazy, like bad by the day, dude. So we're like, people were like stealing and like stopping trucks and fucking just trying to feed their family.
Yeah, I kind of remember whenever their money system started getting fucked up. That's all I remembered, though. I don't remember why or how it happened or anything like that.
Yeah.
So
they should have warned them to fucking not do that or something. Maybe they did, but.
So the funny thing is, though, is they came to RuneScape, like, they maybe were always here, but like there was just like a spike in popularity with what they call like Vinnies or Venezuelan bot farmers. So it used to be like, I guess,
They
Asia
make so much money.
Gold farmers. But then once that like kind of happened, that created a spike for people from Venezuela to come over to RuneScape and just like either have bot programs or just spend
the RuneScape economy was better than their economy.
Gold farming. Isn't that wild?
Yeah, it was better than their economy because it was inflating so fast. So they would fucking come on here and make money, and then like, sell it
real world.
So what the fuck? That happened on RuneScape?
Yep, dude. There's Venezuelan gold farmers.
Crazy.
Yeah, dude, that's insane, bro. Turn the whole video game and like started crashing the economy because they pretty much created a shit ton of accounts and they botted it, and they don't care if they get banned, but they farm so much resources that, like if you have too many resources and not enough players, prices are going to go down. It's not as rare. So fuck the game's economy. Then on top of that, they introduced other shit that fucked the economy. So it's a little fucked right now.
That's crazy.
There's still bots too.
Yeah, I remember things like that would start happening when the auction houses got opened up in like Diablo. I think it was 3.
Dude.
I forget which one it was, but
dude,
me and my buddy were super excited. Yeah, dude, we were grinding for just shit that I remember. I got like a $50 weapon like one time, and I was like, I'm going straight to sell it right now.
Dude, there was one. I remember that, dude. I had gotten like $100-something item on WoW and sold it.
Well, that's what the beauty of these like NFTs are going to be in video games. Like, there's going to be some rare shit that comes about.
Honestly, you could make like crypto the main currency in a video game now. Like, if you think about it, you could just turn like let's say Bitcoin, or Bitcoin wouldn't be a good example. They probably could make their own, honestly. But if let's say they did like create a crypto, you could keep that in your fucking video game pretty much, and that's like actual value that you could sell back. And like you can't just, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just like stuck on your account now, right?
Yeah.
Like, you could fucking sell it back or like buy an item that's like limited and fucking hold it. So your video game stuff is actually worth fucking money now. Like, that's crazy. Like, it's not like worth jack shit anymore, because like really the value of stuff is like dirt cheap for video game accounts. Like, you could spend, hundreds and hundreds of hours on a RuneScape account and only get like $500 to like $1,000, and you spent like years worth of like work just like doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty interesting how like the games kind of can intertwine with like the real world economy. Like, of course, so I kind of like glossed over this, forgot to bring up that like with Bitcoin, there was the Mount Gox hack, like back with World of Warcraft. I don't really know a lot about it, but I think there was some forum for World of Warcraft where you could like trade items maybe, and like real world trade maybe. And so Bitcoin was involved, and it was something crazy like 62 or 600,000 Bitcoin went missing in a hack. And I think that was another thing that kind of gained the popularity, or at least put Bitcoin on the maps to certain people and the gaming sphere and stuff.
Yeah. The only thing I ever knew about Bitcoin transactions when it came to it was like some kind of Chinese botting farmers or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it would be to purchase like materials to like upgrade whatever craft I was trying to do. And when it comes to like hacks and stuff like that, that is poor security, like on a wallet, like set space, like where it's sitting at. And it's weird because like if your money disappears in stocks, like we have regulations for it, and that's where you got to bite the bullet in some things, because we want regulations for crypto, but we only want certain regulations for crypto. You know what I mean? Because like we want to regulate these $1 million exchanges to be able to pay you back if they fucking have all your money, all these people's money on their exchange and not protect it,
Yeah.
So we need regulation like that, but we don't need our government stepping in to be like, well, you need to create some kind of upgrade for all your newer cryptocurrencies when it comes to visibility for transaction. That's the whole point of being a decentralized network is. And that's the beauty of Bitcoin and why it will always be gold too, just so you know. Like you can't make a better Bitcoin because nobody can go back and change anything or update anything.
It's the very first like coin, it's like,
dude, my dad said today, when we were talking about this whole conversation I was talking about earlier, where, how much money it was going to be one day. My dad said that aliens created Bitcoin and just gave it to us and was like, have fun. I thought that's interesting coming from a motherfucking straight up hardened veteran of 30 years in the U.S. Army. You know what I'm saying? That's
that
weird
is
shit to hear.
dude.
I'm sure he was just joking, I hope. But, it was like my brain started running like, oh, fuck, dude. What if it, maybe.
Could be, man. I mean, sometimes I look at Elon Musk and I'm like, what is this guy? Like, is he the same
as
us?
Is he a human?
Is he a shapeshifter?
He probably is like the first like android ever created by like Wayland Yutani or something.
With Neuralink, he already has the beta version.
He already has the beta version.
Yeah, shit's pretty nuts. And we're in a pretty interesting time. We got people working on like Neuralink. We got people working on like, I just heard about this new thing called like a Dyson sphere, where it's like something that's in space that's like powered off the power of the sun. Well, apparently some scientists are looking into creating a network of like quantum computers that run an AI program that would compile all information about you that's available and recreate you, and then put you in basically be able to, when you die, bring you back to life and then put you through some sort of like simulated afterlife. It's fucking nuts. We're in a pretty crazy time.
I don't even understand how that would be possible. I would like to see the statistics.
I'll send you the thing. It was on Popular Mechanics, the article that I was reading.
That's interesting.
But
no, I mean, I believe that we're in. So when Elon Musk, who's leading us off of Earth, says that the only currency accepted on Mars is going to be cryptocurrency, and this is the guy who's leading the frontier.
Interesting.
Stuff like that matters. Yeah. He said the only currency he's going to accept on Mars is cryptocurrency.
And pussy.
That's pretty funny.
And pussy. Yeah, I feel that. Allegedly. Allegedly.
Oh, come on. Musk, he's going to be rolling in the poontang.
Dude, I don't know. Grimes might get mad, dude.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He is married. Fuck.
Yeah.
She might.
And they got a baby. They got a baby with a bunch of numbers and letters in its name.
Little really?
X. Little X is what they call them.
Oh, so that was the thing. I brought the Dyson sphere, but I was honestly just kind of reaching for the other thing I was thinking about. The CRISPR technology. That's another really interesting thing that's been going on recently, is like these I think there was like maybe babies born in China or something like that with CRISPR technology, and it's just interesting. There's like all these new articles talking about how they think they found like the aging, how to like eventually reverse aging. Like it's fucking, we're nuts. Dude. Have you heard of CRISPR?
No, I've never even heard of that shit, dude.
Oh shit, bro. Okay, so this is some program that was invented a couple years ago, and the past like year or two, it's been gaining a lot of popular, or more so popularity. But it's essentially a program that's able to edit your DNA, and that is what it is. So like they're not only are they researching it, but it exists as of now, and they're able to like change what your baby's like eye colors are going to be based off of editing your gene sequence in your DNA. They're going to be able to like see,
That's
your height.
When,
like
that's when the aliens are going to be like, nah, you've done too much.
Right, and fucking flood the planet or something.
Yeah. How much your Bitcoin worth then, bitch?
Dude, you know stocks.
The aliens probably got Bitcoin. You know they ain't got.
Dude, I would laugh
dollar.
so hard if the creator of Bitcoin is alien and they were just like, yo, we needed this 21 million Bitcoin mine, but we didn't have the time, so we just left your galaxy, and by the time we came back, we were just coming back for your Bitcoin, bro.
Well, I mean, dude, apparently, according to the Sumerians, like the Anunnaki created us to mine gold. So what if
it like, evolved to the new gold being the digital gold,
to exactly mining the digital gold Bitcoin.
They're like, listen, you stupid fucks mined up all the regular gold, so we had to create digital gold for you retards to mine.
For real, dude.
That's insane.
Dude, like stocks and like crypto is blowing up when this random like girl from my school that doesn't even care about stocks or like anything like that starts asking questions about it. Like she doesn't, like she would never do like stocks.
She was like, I saw Snoop Dogg bought some Dogecoin. Do you think I should buy some Dogecoin right now?
No, somebody literally told her.
She'd probably call it Doggy Coin though. Those are my favorite people that call it Doggy Coin.
Somebody literally told her, the first comment was said, do not buy based off what somebody tells you to buy. Just do your own research.
Yeah, that's the best thing. And if I could, other than my friends that are, or like if you ever catch the good random trailer days where I scream out a coin, I wouldn't share my advice without saying to you, research it yourself, because that's what I do. And it sucks right now because a lot of that time here in the future where I won't have to do it anymore, it could be spent with my girlfriend right now,
Yeah. For you really do gotta spend
it does take, you gotta understand, what it does
every day. Yeah.
I see the market is pretty much up though. It's looking hella bullish. The whole space is, man. It's it's gonna be. I think I'm gonna wake up this morning being like, "Damn, dude, I made like a couple $100 in my sleep."
We're at the end of a debt cycle right now.
The U.S. or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't keep up with fiat anymore. Like I said, I'm just waiting for the official MSNBC announcement that fiat currency is falling, and I'm gonna be like watching my Bitcoin.
Oh well, dude. I mean, I'm
gonna watch my Bitcoin at that point.
Crypto is so new right now. I'm telling you, there's so much money to be made off crypto. It's unreal, and people think that it's like always think that it's over with, but no, that's not true at all. Like, it's literally just getting started. It really is. Like,
dude, let's just put it this way: Bitcoin, first thing it ever bought was a pizza. The next things that it like profusely bought was drugs, sex, and death. Yeah, rock and roll.
Yeah.
Allegedly, and and basically now it's survived all of that, and basically an attack by every soccer mom in the world. Like, I caught my son with Bitcoins buying drugs,
dude,
and
well, look, they're gonna buy
it's
drugs
now
with real
an
money
institutional currency,
They're gonna buy drugs with real money anyways. There's probably more drugs bought with real money than there is Bitcoin.
I'm just saying it's come from a long way, and I've never really thought it was going to go anywhere once you understand. Let's put it here. Like when I was talking about that whole looking at my safe, and like again, I don't ever count any money I make every day with those 2 Bitcoin. Like I was down $10,000 2 days ago, but I know with 59 plus 59, I know what that equals to. You know what I mean? And so I don't count that. But one thing I did realize was, so if I have $59,000 and I just cash it out right now, and I don't trust a bank, what do I look like walking around with $59,000 and keep it in my house?
Yeah,
Stupid.
for real.
So
Right.
I'm like, all right, well, what's the next best thing? Do I buy $59,000
But your
worth of
money is
gold?
secured in a bank, bro. Like
Yeah, no. So I
just
said,
a,
do I buy $59,000 worth of gold? And I'm like, dude, do you know
yeah,
how
true.
heavy $59,000 worth of gold is?
While
So
you're on
then
the run, once the
and then
fiat currency crashes and you're trying to like survive, having
Yeah.
51K of gold lugging around.
I realized that we evolve lazily. So what's the next best thing? Cryptocurrency. Because guess what? My wallet, my little wallet that I have, it actually looks like an iPhone. My cold storage wallet. So not only do I look like a motherfucking badass whenever I pull up a QR code and I'm like, "Hey, bitch, remember that $20 from lunch? Pay me in Bitcoin," and you scan it from your phone to my little pad. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah,
the
dude, what if
future
phones
to
all
me.
came with like QR things in the phones where you just like tap it?
Yeah.
I mean, they have that kind of technology out already, so I don't see why it couldn't happen.
It's gonna. It's
Yeah,
just takes time.
like there's already the social
Humans
media
are
thing.
stubborn. And old white men are like, I don't know
Oh
what
yeah,
this
yeah.
Bitcoin thing is still. So
That's why I said it so too, because when our
Skeptical.
generation
yeah,
fully
it's
gets in
like
office,
they're
like
like,
that's
sir,
when
you invested in Apple 10 years ago and your gains were,
Right.
5,000%. But had you invested in Bitcoin, it would be 100,000% at this point. You know what I mean? Shit like that is
Funny.
why they're
So yeah,
starting to
the
see.
world will come
Yeah,
around.
dude.
Now.
like yeah,
And the only
it'll be
next thing
there.
I'm scared of, I'm not scared ever back Bitcoin off of at that point, you know? So
Well, dollar at that point, so that would make it
Yeah, the
the
next
next
dollar,
in line,
yeah.
right?
It-
As-
and
Assuming
that's
that I
exactly
wasn't.
what happened. It was like the coolest thing to ever see on TV.
Damn, bro. Yeah, that was a big thing at the time.
Yeah, dude, that was huge, bro. They threw rocks at a door and made the guy leave. Like they didn't even shoot any guns, bro. Can you imagine America just wanting to go do something really quick? Dude, that shit would be a shit show. That's why it is Biden freaked out so bad at the fucking White House and had like 100 million National Guard there. They're like, man, I'm scared of you goddamn red Texan motherfuckers are going to come up here and tell me to leave.
Well, I just find it hilarious, and I mean, of course, we could do some more episodes in the future. Honestly, I'd like to talk to you one day about the Kandahar Giants.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, I forgot about you. You'd asked me about that before.
yeah. I
I thought
think
the coolest thing I think though, man, is that you said you heard about it in like a podcast or somebody talk about it at one point in time. I think that's awesome because those kind of stories, dude, don't really trek out too far, man, because that puts your credibility on the line, is what I would say back in the day. And I don't even think I've told my girlfriend who I'm gonna marry one day, you know what I mean, about that stories like that, from my past. So those ones are pretty interesting because And you know what I mean? I know what I smelled at least. And, you know, it's really hard whenever you hear a myth and then you actually see the evidence of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That
man.
stuff's interesting.
I mean, we can talk about it if you want to, or we can save it. But I
Oh yeah,
definitely,
no, I'm down sometime.
I think that things are starting to come out more and more, like more archaeologists and more people in general, I guess, are coming out with certain things. So yeah, I'd love to talk to you about the Nephilim and giants,
Yeah.
the potential, of that, and the Kandahar, Afghanistan region,
Yeah, dude,
especially since you served in the military, at that
I
time.
actually have a buddy who I served with in 11 Bravo, and he just came back from Egypt, and they just opened up some kind of crawl space for the first time in like 11 years or something. And he came back with pictures and showed me, and
Oh shit.
that was an awesome little visit he had. They got kicked out of certain places because they just were like, "Fuck it," that nobody's here to tell us no, that it's not open, so they were just going in places, but. And the pyramids, dude, are just a treasure trove of history, man, that I'm sure is being either withheld or, just so much. I'm sure that our prior man fucked up so much shit when we weren't in the right mindset of the future, like people who looted things, and you know what I mean? There's just so much lost history in that fucking place.
Yeah, man. I mean, I find it really interesting that oh, before I forget real quick, what I was going to say though is uh, shit, dude. I have to like pick and choose. I have two ideas, and if I talk about one, I'm going to forget the other. And then if I
My
talk about the
bad.
other,
Write
but
it down.
yeah, I know I need to write it down, but I already forgot the second. So the first one was talking about oh, okay, so the second one is about how there's pyramids all around the world, like China. I've personally visited the one in Mexico, Chichen Itza. There's pyramids like
Awesome.
Hungary and all that stuff
I'm
all around.
jealous of that right there.
Oh, dude, I mean, yeah, I was a kid, 2011. Shouts to my mom. Her being born and raised in Copenhagen, Denmark. The Danes historically have always had a passion for travel. I mean, look at what Vikings are: journey, exploration. But the first thing was basically just I was just saying how, like, with the capital, I find it amazing that, like, on my drive to work within the past couple months, I've seen billboards saying like the call the FBI about tips to the Capitol Hill, the Capitol violence and all that stuff. But yet there was no mention or acknowledgement or billboards or anything like that, especially intertwined with the FBI, about like all the burnings that went on down in Broad Street of like GRTC buses, or like my buddy, his car was
Of the
like
Black Lives Matter events and stuff.
right.
Yeah.
Right. And I
Yeah.
think
My
we can all
license
agree
plate,
that Black Lives
my
matter, but
license plate at Summit, or no, I don't remember if it was my license. Something happened to my car at Summit during all that. And I was like, I wonder if somebody knew I was a white guy or if they just randomly chose my car. But what they did was they just marked the car with spray paint. But the car
no.
yeah, dude, the car ended up getting smashed up in that car accident anyway. So. But
Damn, dude, I
it
did
still
not
was like
know about that.
trash. Yeah, dude, they got a couple of cars down the street, and it was parked whenever. Were you ever at Summit whenever they were walking, came down in droves, dude? Like, I mean, just they shut
No.
down the whole block for them just to walk through and fucking scream shit at people.
Well, to me,
Like
it's
it
hilarious.
turned the whole entire neighborhood's looking to trash because they still keep the boards up because they don't know what to do, or they're out
Right,
of
dude.
business. It's like they boarded it up for Black Lives Matter because they were closed, and then they never opened because they stayed closed. And now here's our economy. No.
Well, you could see that they were terrified. There's actually like a little theater right next to Summit or whatever, some sort of like little local like drama theater or something. And like they had like boarded up windows, and it's like, we support BLM, but it's like that was back like a while ago when this shit was first popping off. And like I just got the instinctual feeling even back then, like this guttural, visceral feeling from looking at the boarded up windows and what they had written. The way they had written it, it basically showed that, yeah, like I just said, of course we can probably all agree. I mean, we can all agree that, Black Lives Matter, just like every life does matter, in that sense. And there's also a separation between BLM, the organization, and then the movement. And we also have to keep in mind the fact that foreign intelligence agencies and foreign countries actively, as of right now, are sowing seeds of doubt and within our government and with our infrastructure and within each other, you have to keep that in mind, that there's literally an active front, to sow these seeds of doubt. But to me, it's just hilarious that when people go to the government to change the government or to request the truth or whatever, whatever it was, that's when the world's like, oh my, I think maybe 2 people died there or something like that. I'm not an expert on that, but just the fact that, you're literally, there's billboards in Richmond asking for people to like tip off the FBI of people that went there and try to demand change in the government. I'm
trying to figure out what happened, because apparently there was a man who died, was supposedly like, died at the Capitol riots. It was a cop, right? And then there was a girl who was supposedly shot in the neck. The last thing that I heard about any of this, which I was really confused, was like there was no gun recovered ever. Not a single human being ever got caught with a gun at the Capitol. Have you heard about that? It was on Joe Rogan's podcast and shit, dude.
No, dude, I have not.
Yeah, dude, not a single human being at that Capitol that was arrested had a gun on them. But I do believe a girl did get shot in her neck and died, though. I think an officer shot her.
Was it? Yeah, I was gonna say, wasn't it by like a security guard or something?
Okay,
like
so
an officer?
That's why it is that but I'm almost 100% sure that. So, like, yeah, dude, like that was him being scared as fuck and just capped a chick.
That's just funny to me, though, man.
And they were just in there to like basically,
what, demand the truth? Well, demand the truth on like voter fraud. Demand the truth on voter fraud, and also like demand.
I think the worst thing that happened there was the podium was stolen. I think that's like the worst thing, and also too, whoever brought a Confederate flag in that building, because I'm sorry, I'm not, the one big thing is a lot of people died to keep that flag out of that building, and it's just crazy as fuck that you brought a Confederate flag into the building. I have no problem with the Confederate flag. I think it's an awesome flag and what it represents, but holy shit, did how many people die to keep that flag out of that building? So whoever that guy was is a dickhead.
Right. Well,
fucking fucks himself. But
out of all hundreds or thousands, how many people are there? You can't expect for all of them to be as smart as us, or just in general smart enough to even know what they're talking about politically. If you gave them the podium to say, hey, what would you like in this country and how would it work out? But I just find it mind blowing that, despite everything else, when there is a movement that shows that people want transparency within the government, and not only that, but people are showing up and demanding change because they feel like there's something wrong with the way things are going. I just find it's hilarious that gets demonized and snitch on these people at FBI, but yet during the BLM movement, people were probably killed, probably a lot more. Businesses were damaged, and there was no speak about that. It was on the hush hush. There was no report this.
There was 19 killed, I believe. So Steven Crowder, I mean, what an awesome ass podcast or show he be having, dude. But I believe there's 200 million. Smart. Yeah, he is. I think there was $200 million or maybe billion. I don't remember if it was million or billion in damages. I think 19 people died, and there was over 100 something law enforcement that were injured, or that was the last statistics in super rough estimate ranges, of what the BLM riots caused and shit. And they're ongoing right now as we speak. There's autonomous zones being set up because of George Floyd's shit right now. It's all happening again right now.
Have you heard of Michael Knowles or Michael Monero?
No, I've never heard of him.
Yeah, Michael Knowles, dude. You would like Michael Knowles, I think. If you like Steven Crowder.
Yeah, I like Steven Crowder a lot.
He's super intelligent, dude.
I just think he's funny. I like whenever he sits at those tables and is like, fucking rape doesn't exist, change my mind. No, I'm just but it's shit like that. That's usually
that's what Crowder said?
Allegedly. No, he didn't do that. I think he said something like white privilege is a myth, change my mind, stuff like that. You know what I mean? But no, it was rape culture doesn't exist, change my mind. That's what one of his actual videos is.
I got you. Yeah, he was on the Rogan episode, and that was an interesting one. They like debated for like 40 minutes if like
About pot.
about
Yeah.
weed. Yeah, which I
I was
mean,
like, dude, please have him on again and don't fight about pot the whole time.
right, dude. I feel like it would have been so great otherwise.
I think he did. There should be 2 Rogan episodes of Steven Crowder.
Yeah, I think so. But
I'm pretty
so
sure.
guys, is there anything you want to like talk about, whether it be like, how does one start out investing, what you invest in, anything in general? Because
Start
it's
out
about,
investing. I'd say would go with like your safer ones just to kind of get a feel for it, just to kind of get into like the stock market community. If you're starting on stocks, at least crypto. Honestly, you just got to really do your research on crypto. Like you really have to do your research on.
I
on
would say
crypto.
that the no-brainer would be Bitcoin.
Yeah,
This is
obviously. Yeah.
what like the Bitcoin God teachers say. They say that you should hold 0.01 of Bitcoin, or Bitcoin should be like a larger portion of your portfolio. As to where coins that right now that are going to be super hot in the space, dude, are going to be looking at coins for long-term gain would be things like Bitcoin or Ethereum or Cardano. Look at the market cap of the coin, you know what I mean? But when you look at that kind of stuff and you're looking for big gains and stuff, you want to look at the market cap, because the price doesn't mean shit. It's about the market cap and how many coins are minted in circulation, in their entirety. Because what makes Bitcoin so rare again is the fact that it's only 21 million Bitcoin, and then all the other hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin people have already lost. Who knows what the number is anymore? I'm sure somebody does, actually. But I would say like Litecoin, if it's not on an exchange, which like a true exchange, which would be like PayPal or Cash App has Bitcoin on it, and Cash App's about to have Litecoin and Ethereum added to it. So why would, obviously Litecoin's going to go up because it's cheap. And also there's another thing coming out with Litecoin that's like smart contract type stuff, where not smart contract, my bad. Privacy features and shit, where there's going to be public and private contracts for Litecoin. So there's a lot of, you know what I mean? Like you said, research is like the best thing to do.
Yep.
awesome. Parker, what about you, man? Any like closing thoughts?
Nothing really. I mean, we covered a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we did.
Dude, buy
Yeah.
Cardano. That's what I would buy. I'd buy Cardano because I think it's gonna be like $10 this year. That's
Check
gonna
out
be a
NFTs
good ass
too.
program.
NFTs
Yeah,
are
NFTs.
good right
If you can
now.
afford them, if you can afford the gas fees, and if you can afford the NFT, it'll be a good future investment.
Yeah, I actually the one I use Bit4x and they knock down the fees a lot, so it's really not that bad anymore. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm excited for NFTs and video games. Whenever
Oh yeah.
there's that fucking sweet ass hammer, flaming hammer that everybody wants really bad.
Oh no, it's gonna
And
catch
then,
on. It's gonna slowly catch on. I think like more
yeah,
and more. I think it's gonna be like a rise. Like it may jump. Once it gets added to like certain websites like
yeah, I'm
Binance or
gonna be
something.
like, there's gonna be like a new like Fortnite 2057 or whatever, and it's gonna be
Oh
like,
dude, yeah.
I'm gonna hit y'all up and be like, yo, I bought Carlton's Dance and he can't sue me this time.
For real.
Carlton.
All right, guys.
All right,
I'm
brother. Well,
definitely
thank you, man.
I appreciate it. I'm definitely gonna take it to bed for sure.
Yeah, dude. I gotta show up on time tomorrow, and I'll see you tomorrow, I think. So,
Yeah, for sure.
all right, brother.
Yeah, it's
Well,
good
thank you
talking to you,
again.
bro.
Anything you want to shout out? I mean, if you play any games, you want to give out any of that, or
Oh, dude, if you got PlayStation Network, man, fucking definitely go get Final Fantasy VII Remake for free, dude. That's fucking
Oh yeah,
awesome.
so sick.
And definitely
okay.
I would definitely check out Cyberpunk. You know, after all the controversy that shit's gone through, it's still a good game.
Yeah.
But other than that, man, I'm about to take it in, and y'all be safe, dude.
All right,
All right,
later,
G.
bro.
Later.
All right, dog. Night. Hell yeah.
That was a good podcast.
Fuck yeah, man. Thank you.
Yeah, dude. My fucking dog barks like once, so you might have to like.
I heard it. Yeah, I heard it. It's all good, dude. I don't think there's only one thing I need to edit, and I'm gonna go ahead and try to load that up right now. So I'm gonna.
Yeah, really. There's really not much editing you really need to do.
No, dude. There's only like one thing. I'll add the intro. I'll do an intro. Probably I'll add some intro music and exit music, and then there's one little thing I'm gonna edit out, and I think we're good to go. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna kick Craig out of here, and I'm gonna hang in, and I'm doing my skeletal wyverns task right now. So
Yeah, dude. I want to see if Travis wants to
Yeah.
be boss him still.
exactly. Yeah, that's what I was thinking in my head. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna tag him.
Yeah, tag him. Get him in here. I wonder
Oh,
if
All right, guys. Peace.
later.